just arrived in Singapore after a 17-hour flight, so we're just sitting here at the baggage claim waiting for our bags to arrive, and our driver's waiting outside for us.
Here's our guy.
This is our tiny little abode for the next few days. So there's just barely a separation between the shower and the bed.
That is, it is fun.
It's,
yeah.
A few millimeters. Yeah, technically a walk. So.
But Singapore is a very expensive city, so that's something to keep in mind. This will be our least fancy hotel, but this was our affordable hotel. This is what we could get here. Start out our evening after some showers with a sunset stroll along the river walk, right next to our hotel, which is a good location, even if it's not the greatest room. Just a moment, we are going to see our first of 2 light shows. Pulsing eggplant, yeah. And there's a Christmas market between the 2 light shows. How cool. Tell us about your first street food.
I got a hot dog with ketchup and I think it's called mustard.
Oh, wow.
Also some chips from potato.
Gonna get on a ferry.
Going to the southern islands off the coast.
Including
Lazarus Island,
St. John's Island,
Tortoise Island.
also known as Kusu Island.
Yeah.
This is Sentosa Island. This is kind of like the beach resort area. There's also just like a whole bunch of things to do up there, like Universal Studios and like, you know, just a bunch of like zip lines and bungee jumping. The ferry has dropped us off at Lazarus Island, which used to be a prison colony, but is now known for cute, fluffy cats, which I'm giving on a lookout for.
No cats.
Well, there are going to be some cats, but it's also connected to St. John's Island, which was the leprosy and cholera quarantine island.
Right, so we're walking there now.
We have our first wildlife. See it? Oh wow, that's crazy. Oh.
You need to go to parts of the world where you see things just wild and walking around that you normally would have to go to a zoo to see.
They're growing coral here. Old prison guard towers here. Back to Lazarus Island, where people like to glamp and swim. Well, we thought that we could go all the way around the island, but it turns out we cannot. There's a big channel here that feeds into this lagoon, which is lovely, but it does mean that we can't finish the path across the island. And Tony says I'm not allowed to swim it. I could totally swim that. In fact, I think I could jump it. What do you guys think? We're having disappointment staving off snacks. Snickers and matcha flavored puffs. Okay. That tasted like somebody took grass and put it in a blender with just like a little sugar, and then put it in a rubbery bun.
My Snickers bar was delicious.
This island is home to a tortoise sanctuary. And here's a bunch of little tortoises. Oh, what's up, little guys? Aww.
Got to climb up 152 steps to the site of 3 shrines to Malay saints. So people will come here on like little pilgrimages and say prayers for, you know, blessings or marriages or things like that.
But it is super, super hot and sweaty out.
What are you doing? Yay! How was it? We are just killing time because we ended up on this island that we did in like 10 minutes and we have 2 hours here before the boat actually leaves. So we're just doing absolutely nothing right now.
So now we're back at Gardens by the Bay. We're gonna go explore it during the daytime and see the inside, you know, pay for stuff. Inside one of the trees, the tallest tree. Tony was like, it's too bad you can't see down. And I was like, oh my gosh, you can. We're gonna go inside this cloud forest.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Wowzers.
Alright, Simi, this is for you. The beautiful waterfall.
He made me turn around to videotape that. Oh no, the dinosaurs are loose. T-Rex is coming for us. Why isn't everybody running away? Whoa.
Third stop will be Indian food. Okay, Indian food. And then the final stop we have the Malay food, the satay, and then the Chinese food. Bak food means pot wood. Teh means tea. Okay. So why you need tea? Actually, it's actually cut the richness of the pork. Eric, you dip with the sauce and the chili and eat with it. You can try first, but if it's too hot, then you just eat the sauce, red sauce.
Verdict?
Well, I'm being forced to eat garlic, which is a terrible inconvenience, but it's delicious.
Roti means flat bread. So John means every white man is John. So this is how the Roti John called until today.
Dip it. It is already hot.
It is already hot. We're going to climb some more stairs.
Yay!
Looks like more stairs than we climbed up to that tiny little shrine yesterday. This park was called Forbidden Hill in Malay because it was legendary, said that it was the abode of former Malay kings. But when the British got here, when Sir Thomas Raffles got here, he decided he would just build a bungalow up here and call it Government Hill.
I feel like I'm videotaping like one of those reels that you watch when your loved one has passed.
Yes,
And
this
then-
is how I want you to remember me when I'm dead.
We were really excited about this thing called a tree tunnel. We thought it was like a tunnel of trees. It's just where people like to go take a photo of themselves, like on Instagram. We were so excited. Today is all about museums. Museums out to wazoo. So many.
So many.
But we only have like one day to get all these museums in Singapore in. And so we're going to see every single one of them.
Right. We love museums, except for the art museums.
They're still okay. I mean, they're just okay. This painting is rare because it includes so many different types of boats from different cultures.
This is a stormy sea, so can be a bit choppy.
Really enjoyed that Once Upon a Tide exhibit, just learning about the history of Singapore, which we've been kind of absorbing as we've been here, but just the rich cultural legacy, you know, the combination of the people, just how they are able to survive with so few resources, you know, that they don't have their own anything, but they produce, you know, just basically like by providing trade and transport for everyone else. You're invisible. I'm learning about Peranakan culture and technology, sort of. Look at the detail on this embroidery. Those are beads. Beading. Incredible. We're not usually fans of art museums, but this National Gallery is housed in the City Hall and the Supreme Court historic building, so it's pretty neat. See, it's art. You can see the Rotunda Dome where they've built around it for the museum. Here, like, you can really see the old City Hall before they built everything around it, and then you can see where they connect the two. Bowls, all types of bowls. It's really cool. All this stuff was found on a shipwreck that was off course on the Silk Road from the Tang Dynasty. You're about to go have a high brew, which is an alternative to a high tea, up in that. Make sure that we meet the dress code today to go up to the world's highest microbrewery.
In a building.
Here's what we're gonna get today. Very exciting. With this view. This is a great perspective to show you, actually. So there's the ocean and this is the river, but they cleaned this up in the 80s and they blocked it off because it was all polluted. So it's actually a reservoir. It's completely freshwater.
During this journey to land, here are a few organisms from the water. These are the axes of Chico, where population now stands at 3,500. Where the tiger's roar continues to echo through our forests. Means warrior, the Malay language.
go on the trails. Look at you. Oh. Sometimes you just gotta let it all hang out, you know? Tasmanian devils.
We woke up this morning and packed up our luggage and left the hotel, and we went and grabbed breakfast, and now we've caught the bus to the touring company where we're going to ride a bike tour for a few hours. So should be lots of fun and very sweaty.
Tony's testing out his little bike. Or it's a big bike, it's the large.
You will, hear a lot about
The Sultan's Palace, where Raffles built a palace so that he could strike a deal.
they want to design this whole area, the whole mosque, they want to make it more grand. Currently, the mosque can host 5,000 heads at one go.
This is where all the pilgrims who would go to the mosque over here would come and stay here before there was a ship that would have left from right there would go to Mecca.
Just the oldest hotel in Singapore, built in 1887.
The story that we just heard about this hotel was that when Michael Jackson came here, he stayed there and everyone was really jazzed about it, obviously. But he really wanted to go to the zoo to see orangutan, but they didn't want the zoo to get totally run over. So they brought an orangutan here just to visit with him and play in the pool and stuff. Crazy.
It's definitely better traveling by bike.
We're about to go bike ride through a mall. do 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 do. All the new buildings since the last 10 years, they have a lot of greenery here because they have to replace the land greenery that they took by placing the building there.
You're not allowed to just have random protests in Singapore, but because they want people to be able to, have their say, they have this particular area here where you can protest if you have the right permits. But there's really not that much to protest because everything's going well economically, so they do CrossFit here mostly.
Okay, after that they will add in sugar and they will keep stirring and stirring over low fire because if not it will get burned.
Well, we are on the bus and it is very luxurious.